What's up everyone, Jeremy here with JPhoneography, where I do videography, photography, product reviews, and tutorials all on the iPhone. Everyone's been asking, how do you make YouTube thumbnails? Well, I'm going to show you. Let's go. Alright, so what we're going to be using is a program that I like to use. It's called Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a new file. Now luckily, I already saved myself a preset here. I just called it YouTube thumbnail. But your dimensions, your width, you want it to be 1280 pixels by 720 in height. Or you can go by inches if that helps you out, but then it gets a little bit more pickier. I just like to go by pixels because you got your resolution right there. Your resolution pixels would be 72, and then your background contents, that's up to you if you want a white background, a transparent background. I usually just go with white for starters. Then once you have those numbers in, you want to say OK. And then here it is all zoomed in, but it would actually be smaller than that. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring in some images just for an example. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my pictures, go to YouTube, tutorial, and let's get a backdrop. So here's just a simple wallpaper. So what I'm going to do is I'm on this tab, I'm going to grab it and just drag it over to the project we just created. And then of course, you can scale it down to size, whatever you want to do to your liking. So for example, let's just leave it like that because I kind of like how the light comes in the corner. Alright, so next what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to grab a new image. So let's load up another one, and this one is a PNG file. It's just a picture of a thumbs up. So I'm going to grab that and just bring it in. And the reason why I'm using this is I wanted to pretend that this is like a person. Like if you're doing your own video, you would normally have yourself in it, or whatever device you're going to be having in your video, whatever the category is, the topic. So pretending that this is you. All right, anywho. So if we're going to have it on the right side or the object on the left side, that's all up to you. So for example, if we put it on the right side, then that means we would probably want our font, our writing on the left side. Or if we put it in the middle, we might want it towards the right, towards the left, and yada yada yada. So let's just go on the right for now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new layer, and we're just going to call it text. We're going to choose the text tool over here. Got the little pinwheel because it's going to say, hey, I'm loading here, hold on. Okay, and we're going to choose a font color. Just go with white for now. And this could be, a little error there. This could be create, let's make another one now, another layer. We'll just call this text 2. Keep it simple. Thumbnail. And another layer. Text 3. Tutorial. Okay, so we have 3 layers off to the right. Text 1, 2, and 3. So if we highlight one, we can decide where we want this one placed. Now say if we want to get a little fancy and just kind of make it look crooked or something, we're going to go up to Edit, Transform, Rotate. So then you grab the corners on each side and you bring it around. And then you decide where you want to put it. Press Enter when you got it. Next layer, Text 2. We'll just leave that one right there. Text 3, we'll put this right here. Actually, let's move it up just a little. All right. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create another layer, and we're going to call this box. So with the box, we're actually going to drag the box below all the text to the right here. So we're going to grab the box tool. We're going to choose a color, and let's just say red. So we're going to put this, let's say, over tutorial. Boom. So as you can see, it's full blast, 100% red, the opacity. Now, if you want it to stand out, you can leave it just like it is. Or if you wanted to kind of like blend it in with your backdrop or whatever image you plan on using, you can do the opacity and bring it down just a little bit so that it still shows the image through. And then all you do is repeat the other steps. So now what we're going to do is grab another layer. And this is really simple. I didn't name that layer, but we know what it is. So now we're going to grab the tool again, the square tool over here to the left. We're going to choose a different color. Let's go blue. Now let's create it over thumbnail. And that one is actually fine just the way it is because it's the same opacity as the previous layer, 45%. So that looks nice. All right, let's grab another layer. Press enter, unless you want to type in whatever you want to name it so that you can keep your stuff organized over here in the layers. Now this one, I already went ahead and made this crooked, the word create. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a different color and I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to say let's make the box as tall as the letter C and as long as the word. So as you can see, it's not going to work. But what we do is we grab our pointer tool here and then we go up to edit, transform path, rotate it. Same as before, grab your corners and just kind of eyeball it. We'll leave it right there. Now with the pointer tool selected, just going to grab this right above it. And that's it. Your thumbnail is done. If you are satisfied with the way that it looks, unless you wanted to get like some shadowing and get all fancy, then you can just go up to File, Save As, and you want to save it as a JPG, a JPEG. So then once you save it, and I'll just write test thumbnail for this, if I know how to spell. It's going to say, okay, how do you want the quality to be? Do you want it to be really, really low? And as you can see, once I do that, the quality changes in the image. Or do I want full blast, as maximum as can be, and it keeps everything intact? Now, one thing that's nice about Photoshop is that it shows you how big your file is going to be, which is very beneficial when you're trying to upload a thumbnail to YouTube because YouTube has a maximum of 2 megabytes. So this is way below 1 megabyte, so we're safe. And there you go. And that's it. Your thumbnail is now saved. So if we go to my hard drive here and go to pictures and YouTube, tutorial, test, there it is. There's your thumbnail, guys. And like I say, if you wanted to go back into the program and choose, like, say, text number 3, the tutorial one, if you double click on that layer, then you got all your different styles. You can drop some shadow to it, so now it kind of pops out. You could put a stroke around it, so you now got a black line going around, or you could choose a different color under the stroke option and say red and blue, so then now that means it's going to match the contrast of the blue box with the thumbnail, you know, just to try to make it pop out to get you know, everyone's attention when you're trying to put your video out there. But yeah, that's how you create a YouTube thumbnail. Don't forget to subscribe, throw likes in there if you like, you know, hit the old likes button, throw a comment in if you thought that this was helpful, but otherwise until next time, guys, thanks, later.